Libby Babet, and I'm here for another chat on the couch with the wonderful Glenn Mackintosh. I said your name today.
Yeah,
it's a nice change, isn't it? Glenn is known as the Weight Psych. A lot of you will already be aware of his work, but he is here to give us lots of helpful tips. They said ticks. Yes, some ticks too. But lots of helpful tips to help us get healthier and, most importantly, happier, right?
Absolutely.
Now, today we are talking about how to get freedom from emotional eating. And this is another one of your courses that you run online, Freedom from Emotional Eating. And I just love the name of it because I work a lot with women, and this is something that comes up quite frequently with the girls I work with, which is, you know, I'm an emotional eater, you know, oh, I can't help it, I'm an emotional eater, all this kind of stuff. And
it's a big label. It's
a label, isn't it? And so I just want to talk about that. I mean, I guess we can start with, what is emotional eating?
That's a good question because, you know, obviously there are all types of emotions. Some people eat when they're happy, some people eat when they're sad. When a psychologist talks about emotional eating, what we'll be talking about today is eating to deal with the unpleasant emotions.
Eating to deal with the unpleasant emotions. Yeah, makes sense.
So it's if you're feeling bad, soothing yourself with food. It's not, you know, enjoying yourself, socializing, maybe eating a little bit too much.
Yes.
This is the stuff where you're not feeling so good.
Yeah.
And you're kind of using food to kind of medicate yourself in a way.
Yeah. It's the old, like, my boyfriend was nasty to me, I'm going to pick up my other boyfriend's Ben and Jerry on the way home and eat them on the couch.
Your other boyfriend's Ben and Jerry?
Ben and Jerry is ice cream. Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
The other boyfriend. I'm thinking about you're going to go to the other boyfriend's place? No wonder the boyfriend is mean to you.
No, I meant the tub of ice cream.
I understand, yes.
Glad we clarified that.
Me too. Yes. It's like makeshift boyfriend.
Yes.
This boyfriend is reliable. This boyfriend never lets me down.
Delicious.
And emotional eating is a bit like that. Like people they often say to me, Glenn, I'm a smart person, why can't I get on top of this?
Yeah.
And I think it's quite understandable because even though most people end up feeling worse after they emotionally eat. For that little period, you do feel better. You
do, because you get a little sugar high or you get a little happiness burst out of doing something you enjoy.
Yeah, so it can become a little addiction. But emotional eating can be so problematic because it does end up 95% of the time making you feel worse. Yeah,
at least after that blissful 10-minute windows.
Totally. Most people, and if we research it, if you're stressed or you're angry or you're lonely, the mood goes down while you eat and then comes back up after. But I say it's like double dipping on a bad mood when you emotionally eat because you feel bad. Say I feel stressed. Now I eat.
And I feel stressed about eating.
Exactly. Now I'm stressed with a side order of guilt.
Yeah, and guilt is not fun.
Yeah, and the other thing about emotional eating, why it is important to work on, is because it's, in psychologist language, it's a maladaptive coping strategy, which means that it actually doesn't help you solve the problems. You know, if you had a fight with a boyfriend, you go to Ben and Jerry's, it's probably not going to make you feel, this is going to go the whole way through. I'm running with this. I'm leaning into this metaphor.
Ben and Jerry's here for to stay.
But after Ben and Jerry's, you're going to feel guilty.
Yes. It doesn't fix the
problem, and you don't go and reconnect with.
Yes, Ben and Jerry's does not help you reconnect with the one you love, people. They're not psychologists.
And that's why I say to people, there is no nutritional solution for an emotional problem.
Yes.
And that's really the start of being free from emotional eating, is recognizing that no matter what I'm feeling, whether I'm stressed or sad or tired or lonely or angry, the answer is not a nutritional answer.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, okay, that's what emotional eating is. It's eating to try and make yourself feel better when really that's kind of a maladaptive strategy. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So, I know that you have actually created a method or a process for other dietitians, psychologists, trainers like me to use to help people overcome emotional eating. What is that kind of strategy about?
I developed a little model to help you kind of get what's happening as it's happening, because you'll hear clients say this all the time. They're like, okay, I planned to eat well, but then this happened. I had a big day at work, for example, and I just went into autopilot zombie mode and just started eating everything. And afterwards, I kind of became like, oh my God.
I came out of the fires and there I am.
I really shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And so I created this model to help you understand what's happening to you in real time as it's happening.
Yes.
And I call it the balloon model.
Oh, I like balloons.
Yeah.
That's
so we'll
good.
provide a link to it so you can see how it's drawn up.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But basically, I want you to think of all of your, we're going to get a bit deep, all of your unpleasant emotions, all of your sadness and fear and uncertainty as existing inside a balloon.
Okay, got it.
And you've got certain inputs into this balloon. I think of them like straws going into the balloon. So maybe if you've got a stressful job, that's going to blow the balloon up.
Yes.
Maybe if you have had a fight with your boyfriend, that's going to blow the balloon up. Psychologists call these things stressors.
Yeah.
And some people have little balloons. They don't have much tolerance for unpleasant emotions. Some people have bigger balloons and they can deal with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But everyone's balloon has a limit.
Yeah.
And at some stage, you know, it just gets too big, it's too much, and you gotta let it out.
Yeah.
So
or the balloon will burst.
Or the balloon will burst, so you gotta let it out.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, we've been doing it since literally seconds after we were born.
Yeah.
You start to emotionally eat. And we confuse that process of getting nutrition and getting emotional comfort. And as adults, we just figure out our own ways of doing this that we've done since kids.
Giving ourselves little rewards and ways to make ourselves feel better.
Totally. Yeah. It starts just after we're born. Then, our parents, further that inbuilt patterning that we have in our brain. You know, you go to the doctor, you get
a jelly bean or something.
It's like it's needle or something. It's like, oh, big scary doctor, then a jelly bean.
Yeah. Oh, phew.
Yeah.
I feel better.
You scrape your knee. It's like, oh, have an ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's a very natural and normal thing to do. So if you are an emotional eater, please don't beat yourself up.
We all do it.
It's a normal thing to do. Doesn't mean that it's that helpful.
Doesn't mean you can't stop doing it.
Doesn't mean you can't stop doing it. But the thing is, when the balloon gets too big, a lot of people, the let-off valve is food.
Yeah. Okay.
The problem is, though...
Donut's undoing the valve.
The donut comes back in to the balloon. So it does, you get this like, oh, I feel better. Oh, now I'm back to feeling better.
So it's like you've let an intruder into your balloon. Like, it's like, let me undo this for the pressure valve, and you let a bit of air gets out, and then it goes
straight back
filled
in.
ya.
Yeah, so it doesn't work. It works only just for that brief little period, but in the long term, it's not really helping you deal with your feelings.
Yes, makes sense.
So as part of the balloon model, what we want to do is we want to develop some new valves.
Yes, okay.
I haven't asked you this, Lib, but I would bet money that one of your valves is exercise.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely. In fact, we've talked about this, like, whilst I've been, I'm 5 months pregnant at the moment, and whilst in the first kind of trimester where I couldn't exercise, I actually found it so much harder to manage my emotional state. I was like, I'd get down, I'd be like, there's nothing I can do to make this better, because going for a walk or a workout or whatever it is one of my things.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what we want. We want to, I call these things more marvellous methods to manage your moods.
Oh, I like it.
Yep, so we want to develop a whole series of let-off valves, whether it be physical activity or passive things like meditation or learning to communicate with people, get it off your chest.
Yeah, I know reading like fiction books is one of mine too.
Yeah, there are a million different things that you can do. And I like for people to have a variety of strategies.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got a little more marvellous methods to manage your moods sheet.
Yes.
That when you listen to this, you can brainstorm some of your own ideas and you chuck it up. I'm just looking at Libby's fridge.
Yeah, my fridge.
You chuck it up on the fridge and you will be in that zombie mode,
Yeah.
and then it will shock you into...
These are the things I can do.
Yeah, because the answer's not here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So there's really kind of 3 parts to working with the balloon model.
Yeah.
The first part is developing these more marvellous methods.
Yes.
Then the second part is actually looking at those things that are feeding into the balloons, actually dealing with your life.
Making them dissolve a little.
Yeah. I say to people, you often start the emotional eating work with me to stop emotionally eating. But you actually end up changing your life in far more profound ways.
Yes, which is Incredible.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
Yeah.
And it is one of those things we say in psychology, what gets you in the door is not always what the most important thing is.
Yes.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yep. So we get a lot of people doing our emotional eating program who come in to stop emotional eating, which is transformational enough in itself.
As is.
But then they end up changing things with their relationships, their jobs, the way they feel about themselves. It's really, really cool. So that's the second part.
Yep.
But as you know, Lib, you're a really positive person. Again, I'd bet money you don't feel great all the time.
Definitely not.
So even if you're really good at managing your moods, and even if you really solve any of those things that are constantly feeding your balloon, you're going to have bad days.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to make room for those unpleasant feelings, I won't call them bad feelings because they're normal. If you don't know how to make room for them, then when you feel bad, you always go back to emotional eating.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because I really think that sometimes you just need to have a day where you just don't feel great and you have to be like, this is one of those days and I'm just going to get through it and refresh tomorrow.
It's normal and natural. And if you have that ability to do that, then you don't have to eat to feel better. There's a scrambling for some way to feel better. You can just say, you know what, today isn't my day.
Today
and that's totally cool.
A poo day.
Today's a poo day.
That was grown up of us.
Yeah.
Of me. But sometimes you do. You just have those days.
You do.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay.
So that's, I was trying to think of, because I added this, we call this emotional acceptance or emotional expansion, making room for the feelings, because thank God you don't feel any feelings forever.
No.
Even if you're really angry, it will go away at some stage without you having to do anything. And I'm thinking, how do I put this into my balloon model? So, the things we do. I did some research into balloons.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
And, well, you tell me if you know, because it seems like everyone knew this apart from me.
Okay, ready.
When, and we'll ask you at home too, don't lie. Don't Google it.
Hands off the phone.
But when, you go to a party and the balloon's big.
Yes.
The end of the party, the balloons aren't as big.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but I'm going to guess that what happens is that, like, some of the air in it, like, naturally, like, works its way out of the valve anyway, or, like, through the skin of the balloon anyway.
Oh, it's so
Or is it the pressure on the outside? Or is it the pressure? I don't know.
It's a difference between the pressure on the outside and pressure on the inside. So it diffuses through the membrane.
Yes.
You got it.
Okay, cool.
I thought it was because people hadn't tied it up well enough. But it diffuses through the membrane of the balloon.
Slowly.
And I think that's a perfect metaphor for your emotions.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything frantically to make the balloon go down. If you can, in a healthy way, that's great.
Yeah.
If you can deal with the feeling with a more marvellous method, or if you can solve the problem that's causing the feeling.
Great.
But sometimes when you can't, because sometimes we feel bad for no reason.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hormonal.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, whatever it might be, you're tired.
It can be anything. And sometimes, it's cyclical. It might be things that are sitting in your subconscious that you don't even realise.
Yeah.
But if the balloon gets too big, you don't have to emotionally eat. You can just
wait for the balloon to shrink.
I
love that.
Yeah.
Good balloon
that's
research.
A balloon model. Thank you.
That's good balloon research. So if we had to give everyone at home watching now, one quick tip, because that's really great for me to work with people, but then I'm going to think of the balloon model every time. So what's one quick tip for people at home to use to, when they feel like they want it emotionally, to, apply?
Okay. So we've sort of said that probably food is not going to be the answer. If you're feeling yucky, we've got great words today. Poo, yucky.
Ben and Jerry's boyfriend ice cream.
If you're feeling bad, then food's probably not going to help. But the next question is, well, what exactly will help me at this time?
Yeah.
So what you need to do is start to get attuned to your emotions. And it sounds pretty funny. It's like, how do I not know my emotions? But a lot of us, we don't. So actually give yourself a little pause point. Maybe even put up a note on the fridge. Say, what are you feeling right now? And just see if you can label it and think, okay, well, am I a bit angry or am I a bit stressed? And just stand there. Often with that mindfulness, you'll be able to figure it out. The funny thing when you're doing this is that sometimes you'll just feel one feeling. You'll be like, oh, I'm stressed. but often you'll feel a combination of feelings. So we don't just feel one feeling. You might be, oh, I'm a little bit stressed and I'm slightly annoyed.
Yeah.
The other thing when you're doing this, not to confuse you, this will help you, is to acknowledge that sometimes you can have pleasant feelings and unpleasant feelings.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I'm going to present at Philex.
Yep.
Totally pumped for it.
Yep.
And at the same time, there's a little bit of me going,
It's like,
ooh.
I'm nervous and I don't really want to do it.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
even if you're, you know, sometimes people, you might not be able to identify that
Yes.
you're feeling unpleasant feelings. If you check in, you might find some that you hadn't recognised.
Yeah,
If
definitely.
you struggle with that, some people just find it hard to... So that exercise is just to stand there or sit there, take a couple of breaths and get in tune, see if you can label the feelings that are going on. If you're a bit more concrete, a really cool task
what it is,
is, no, if you don't know, but you want like a concrete exercise.
Oh, yes, okay.
Do what we call, psychologists are funny, we like to think of big words for everything.
Yeah,
we call it free association writing, but all it is you just get a pen and a pad.
Free writing.
And you just write down whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you'll start off writing, my clients are like, oh, Glenn made me do this exercise, this is stupid, I can hear a bird outside. And you'll get halfway through writing and you think, I can't believe she said that to me, she never respects me. You're like, oh, okay, that's it.
There we go.
And the beauty about that is, knowing how you feel and being attuned to your emotions, it starts to give you a starting point for how you can deal with them.
Yes, totally, because it's you know, acknowledging is often the first step. Going, okay, that's what it is.
Yep.
And if it is and I'm frustrated, maybe a bit of a workout is the answer, because that helps you to change your state and let go of that frustration.
Yep.
If it's just a bit of sadness, maybe it is, you know, going for having a call with someone you love.
Or having a cry.
Or having a cry. I'm a big fan of crying. It's great. Let's hop the emotional team.
I mean, you think about it. What makes more sense? I'm feeling sad, I'm going to eat, or I'm feeling sad, I'm going to cry.
I know, and people have such a negative association with crying, but I think it's like, for me, it's like my balloon is full, and that is a valve that will just allow me to let out all of those emotions and restart.
Perfect.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
So, I think we've covered most, but is there anything else that we should cover on the topic of emotional eating, or?
You know what, Lib? I think we've kind of wrapped it up.
Yeah.
But I think that the thing that I would say is, in reality, it'd be awesome if you watch this and everything has changed.
Yeah.
But learning to deal with your emotions in new ways, it takes time. So I would start by, if I could give any advice to people watching, is start by having a play. Don't expect you'll become this Zen master that deals with every emotion beautifully. But just have a play, and when you start to see some small wins, you'll go, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
You'll start to do it so you don't eat as much. You'll start to do it so you don't gain weight, or it helps you lose weight. But you'll end up continuing to do it because you feel so much better afterwards. Yeah. And the secret...
It's empowering.
It's empowering.
Yeah.
The secret source of it is actually resolving the problems and dealing with your emotions is empowering. Beautiful word.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, cool. I'm so glad we covered that topic, because I feel like even, you know, I had some really good reminders in there for me, for myself, and for working with other people. So thank you. You just got a high five today.
Hey.
Yeah. See you guys.